Good morning, dear children. Now you have finished off with your exams and are busy in making art integrated projects. I hope you all have started making the projects, but the time has come that studies should also go on side by side. So we are going to start with Civics Chapter 6, Understanding Our Criminal Justice System. Children, you all know when any incident or when any robbery, theft, or any crime occurs, where do we go first? It is simple. We simply rush to the police station. Then what do we go do there while we reach the police station? We file an FIR, that is First Information Report. Then after that, the work of police starts. He starts investigating the criminal. Then the case moves to the court, and then the role of the judge and the public prosecutor starts. So children, while the procedure is going on, what is the role of the common public? Is there any role the public plays? Yes, of course. The public also plays a very important role. So let's start with chapter 6 of Civics and see what is the role of each and every person, whether it is a judge, an advocate, a police, or a normal man. What the role these people play when any crime occurs. So children, let's understand our criminal system, our criminal justice system. First, let's see a brief introduction. Children, as I have told you right now, when we see someone violating the law, we immediately think of informing the police. And then the work of the police starts. He files reports and arrests persons. And this is the role played by the police in arresting person. At times, we often get confused and think that it is the police who decide whether a person is guilty or not. And after a person is arrested, it is a court of law that decides, that is the court which decides the accused person is guilty or not. And children, do you know, according to the Constitution, every individual who is charged of a crime, he has to be given a fair trial. And the four key players in the criminal justice system, or we should say the four main elements in the criminal justice system, are the police, the public prosecutor, the defense lawyer, and the judge. And you might have seen the roles of each of them played. Now let us try and understand their roles in a more general way. So first, let's start with the role of the police in investigating a crime. The first main important function I should say of the police is to investigate any complaint about the commission or about the type of a crime. And this investigation includes recording statements of witnesses and collecting different kinds of evidence. And on the basis of the investigation, the police forms an opinion. And if the police think that the evidence points to the guilty or the accused person, then they file a charge sheet in the court. And then police investigations always have to be conducted in accordance with the law and with full respect for human rights. Then children, the Supreme Court has laid down certain guidelines that the police has to follow at the time of arrest, detention and interrogation. And you know one thing, the police are not allowed to torture or beat or shoot anyone during investigation. So as everybody is well aware about the fundamental rights, they cannot inflict any form of punishment on a person even for petty or small offences. Article 22 of the Constitution and criminal law guarantee to every arrested person the following fundamental rights: the right to be informed at the time of arrest of the offence for which the person is being arrested. So children, this is one of the fundamental rights, that if a person is arrested, he has the right to be informed that why he is arrested or what is the crime he has done. Then the right to be presented before a magistrate within 24 hours of arrest. So within 24 hours of arrest, the person has to be presented before a magistrate. And the right not to be ill-treated or tortured during arrest or in custody. So this is another right, that the person should not be ill-treated or tortured while he is in police custody. Then confessions made in police custody cannot be used as evidence against the accused. Children, if the criminal confesses or he accepts or he doesn't accept, that verdict cannot be used as evidence against the person accused. Then a boy under 15 years of age and women cannot be called to the police station only for questioning. So women cannot be called to the police station, and a boy who is 15 years or below cannot be called to the police station for questioning. Then let's find out what is DKBasu Guidelines. As everybody is quite familiar, the Supreme Court of India has laid down certain specific requirements and procedures that the police and other agencies have to follow for the arrest, detention and interrogation of any person. Children, these guidelines, they are known as the DKBasu Guidelines, and some of these guidelines are: the police officials who carry out the arrest or interrogation should wear clear, accurate and visible identification and name tags with their destinations. So the police officials who are interrogating or who are asking the questions, they should wear their visible identification with their name tags and their designations. Then a memo of arrest should be prepared at the time of arrest and should include the time and date of arrest. Children, if any arrest warrant is issued against a person, the time of arrest, the date and time of arrest should be clearly mentioned in the memorandum which is issued. Then it should also be attested by at least the one witness, who could include a family member of the person arrested. And the arrest memo should be countersigned by the person arrested. So it should be witnessed by the family member of the person arrested and even by the person arrested. It should be countersigned. Then the person arrested, detained or being interrogated has a right to inform a relative, friend or well-wisher. So the person who is arrested, they have got the right to inform his relatives or family, friends or well-wishers, whomsoever he wants to inform, he has the right to inform them. When a friend or relative lives outside the district, the time, place of arrest and venue of custody must be notified by police within 8 to 12 hours after arrest. If a friend or a relative of the accused person lives outside, then the time, place of arrest and venue, custody all should be notified by the police within 8 to 12 hours of his arrest. Now children, as I have told you about FIR, First Information Report. Let's find out what is this. It is with the registration of an FIR that the police can begin the investigations into a crime. And it states, the law states that it is compulsory for an officer in charge of a police station, that is, who is the officer in charge or who is present at the time in the police station, it has to register an FIR whenever a person gives information about any offense or crime. And this information can be given to the police either orally or in writing. The FIR usually mentions the date, time and place of the offense, details the basic facts of the offense, including a description of the events, that is, everything should be mentioned, each and everything about the crime, the date, the time, the place, the description of the event, everything should be mentioned while filing an FIR. Then FIR also states the name and address of the complainant, one who is filing, one who has gone to the police station to file an FIR, his address and name should also be written. There is a prescribed form in which the police registers an FIR and it is signed by the complainant. The complainant also has a legal right to get a free copy of the FIR from the police. So children, you can zoom and clearly see this is the FIR, a format, or I should say a form where FIR is filed. Now let's see the role of the public prosecutor. Who is public prosecutor? Public prosecutor is one who represents the interests of the state. And the role of the prosecutor begins once the police has conducted the investigation and when the police has charged the charge sheet in the court. Then he has no role to play in the investigation. The prosecutor must conduct the prosecution on behalf of the state. As an officer of the court, it is his duty to act impartially and present the full and material facts, witnesses and even evidence before the court to enable the court to decide the case. Now let's see what is the role of the judge. The judge is like an umpire in a game and conducts the trial impartially and in an open court. You all might have seen in the movies, in the serials and even in some of the families, there might be judges and magistrate. The judge hears all the witnesses and any other evidence presented by the prosecution and the defense. And then the judge decides whether the accused person has committed the crime, he is guilty or innocent on the basis of the evidences presented. And if the accused is convicted, then the judge announces the sentence, that is his statement, his decision. He may send the person to jail or impose a fine or both, depending on what the law prescribes or suggests. Now, what is a fair trial? Article 21 of the Constitution that guarantees the right to life states that a person's life or liberty can be taken away only by following a reasonable and just legal procedure. And a fair trial ensures that Article 21 of the Constitution is upheld. The person's life or liberty can be taken away only by a reasonable and just legal procedure, that is fair trial. What is a fair trial? Let's see through this example. Shanti was given a copy of the charge sheet and all other evidences that the prosecution presented against her. Shanti was charged with the offense of theft. that was defined as a crime in the law. The trial was held in an open court in public view. Her brother Sushil would attend the court hearings. The trial was held in the presence of the accused. Shanti was defended by a lawyer. Shanti's lawyer, Advocate Roy, was given an opportunity to cross-examine all the prosecution witnesses. Advocate Roy was given an opportunity to present witnesses in Shanti's defense. Although the police filed a case of theft against Shanti and the judge assumed her to be innocent, it was the responsibility of the prosecution to prove beyond reasonable doubt that Shanti was guilty. In this case, the prosecution failed to do so. So it is significant that the judge decided the matter only on the basis of the evidence before the court. The judge did not jump to the conclusion that Shanti was the thief just because she was a poor maidservant. Instead, the judge remained impartial, and since the evidence showed that some young men and not Shanti was the thief, he set Shanti free. In Shanti's case, justice was finally done to her because she was given a fair trial. So children, now I think it might be clear in your mind what is a fair trial, which is explained beautifully with the help of an example of Shanti, a maidservant. So these are the few words which is related with this chapter. Children, go through this glossary words and try to write down their meaning in your notebooks. Go through the chapter for clear understanding, for more understanding. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a good day.